as Ryan Rowe enters his 5th season. And we are off here, counting up here, 45-minute halves.
Team serve time 6:05 p.m.
So that's going to be Matovsky sending it out down the field. Going to start jumping there, but we'll start with an early foul as looks like number 6, Rocco Galati, was able to draw the foul there. Jumping up for that header. Seemed like he had the right positioning, but he did fall down after the fact, so gets the call, and now an early free kick in what could potentially be the danger zone here for Inter Detroit. Such an important game for both of these teams. Like we talked about 1 year ago, this game was meant to happen but never did because of that trainer fiasco. So we hope that does not happen again. Galati set to kick it. Goes directly towards an Inter Detroit player and is sent back the other direction, so the Stars will look to reset. That's Brooklyn Leho. Now back to the goalkeeper, Marco Matovsky from Lawrence Tech. Both keepers from Lawrence Tech, Ian Janis on the other side for Inter Detroit. That's sent back, Alex Ofimu, excuse me. Now sent up to Leho. Looking for an attacker down the field. Swings it across, nobody there. Will go directly into the hands of Ian Janis, which came off the chest of, I believe that's Paul Skosilas. Good attacking cross there from Babacar Sene on that last possession from Inter Detroit. The Michigan Stars are starting roughly 4 or 5 players that, maybe even as much as 6, that could consider themselves attackers or forwards or attacking midfielders even. So expect a lot of pushing up from Angelo Grillo in his 2nd season for this Michigan Stars U23 team. Most of the players on this field are U23 besides Dennis Pineda, the El Salvadorian national. Kick sent down the way. No one there. Possession flips back to the Stars. Pineda's been playing in Portugal for the past couple of years. Now getting his first start in the USA. Excuse me, 2nd start, but first stint, if you will. That's Alex Ofimu with the ball. His possession now. Mistouch. And now mistouch going the other way, so looks like that's Galati looking to receive. Not going to be able to do so. Brian Bovey intercepts it. Trying to perform some sort of counterattack is Inter Detroit. Trying to get past Tower Matuzik. And wins possession back.
Inter Detroit ball.
Number 14, Peyton Trask, that sends it out to Bovey. And I'll go back to Bosco Garcia. Last minute substitution for Inter Detroit. Had a player go out. It was Brett Russell, the 19-year-old, who's been subbed. I shouldn't say use the word sub. He is not playing in this game because of unforeseen circumstances, so it'll be Liam Holloway taking his place, number 16.
Goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Looks like it was some sort of offsides kick. Here's Matovsky sending it down the other way. Midfield of Inter Detroit trying to get hands on it, and that kick just a little too far out of the reach, and that will go out for a goal kick.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Big thank you to everybody watching in the chat. Over 40 now of you. If you're rooting for Inter Detroit, Michigan Stars, or just rooting for the Midwest Premier League, feel free to make your voices known in our comment section. Thank you for joining us on the We Are Soccer channel for a beautiful night. of folks in the stands wearing hats, as well as, even if they are wearing hats, a lot of them shielding their eyes from the sun, just blaring directly into our eyes, mine included. As that ball sent to the air, headed up. And now it's going to look for an attack from Michigan Stars. It's not the touch you want. Possession flips back the other way. Now it goes back to Michigan.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
They will look to reset possession. Here's Matovsky. Sends it back to Ofimu. Out wide, trying to get past Bovee, is number 22, Matuzek. A lot of this game playing on that far side of the field. See the shadow starting to creep in. I don't know if the guys are more drawn to that or not. It's a good pass towards the middle of the field. That's Galati now finding number 19, Jean Metakuki. And here's Babacar Sene. Cross, just a little too high, and sending it out of bounds is number 7, Casey Bunker.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Ball batted around. Stars trying to make something of it. They've been living in the danger zone here for a little bit. Shot on goal and in the net! Oh my! A wonder shot from number 12, Connor Ballantyne. As you have to see the replay on that here in just a second, make sure I got that number right.
Michigan Stars goal scored by number 12, Evan Combs.
Excuse me, that was not Ballantyne. Excuse me, that was Evan Combs, the midfielder from Oakland. My apologies there. A lot of roster changes were given to me last minute at halftime, so I'm trying to read through my chicken scratch handwriting. Apologies there, but Evan Combs is credited with the goal. What an excellent shot from him. Seemed like that defense wasn't doing a whole lot for Inter Detroit, and now an offside is going to be called, rightfully so.
Offsides on Inter Detroit.
This is what one of the things that Inter Detroit said they do not want to happen to them. They want to take advantage of the opportunities given to them and create countermeasures when they realize that the other team is attacking. So it seemed like the Inter Detroit defense just lazily set up there. That ball headed up into the air. To retain possession there is Michigan Stars. Nope, it's going to be Inter Detroit trying to create something here on the attack. Excellent slide from Galati. Across too low to the ground, and that ball is sent up into the trees. I want to remind folks that our broadcast tonight is sponsored by 248 Construction LLC. Concrete flat work contractors, excuse me. They are the main sponsors of Inter Detroit for the 2025 season on all of their game kits. For any concrete flat work contract work, you can call 248-894-3882. That's 248-894-3882. As that ball sent back into Inter Detroit's side of the field. Big thank you to 248 Construction for their support of Inter Detroit. Inter Detroit trying to settle into some sort of possession game, just trying to get into some sort of rhythm. Seems like they've been out of focus since the game has started, haven't had a lot of time with the ball underneath their feet. Here's Bosco Garcia on the near side. Want something high up. That ball kneed away, and now out of bounds, and one back for Inter Detroit. Here's Nick Hatsios.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit
Was going to be the
ball.
one to throw it in. Not quite. Be number 20, Liam Zimmerman instead. Here's Gomez Ruiz. Trying to swing the ball around. Michigan Stars able to keep it in. Excellent work there. Just beautiful stuff. Attack coming the other way. That was Galati from getting attacked from behind. Pass made up to number 7, trying to make a shot of it. Blocked. Shot was taken by Grant Mateer, who scored in the most recent game. Paul Silas. No, excuse me. Now here's Edwin Gomez Ruiz. That ball slid in. There's going to be a yellow card given to number 19, Brooklyn Leho. Looked like a fairly legal play to me, but looks like he got that back heel of the defender there.
A yellow card is
Or the offender, excuse me,
to the
offensive
Michigan
player.
Stars, number 19, Brooklyn Leho.
Card assessed in the 12th minute. Not able to catch up with that ball is Inter Detroit, so it goes out for a throw-in for the Stars.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Stars player running out to the far outreaches of that fence to go grab that one. He will look to throw it in. Number 20, Richard Humphrey. And now here's Galati trying to start some sort of counterattack the other way. And now a foul called on Inter Detroit off of that big kick from Galati. Not sure who incurred the foul there, but regardless, possession goes back to the Stars. Here's Humphrey. Wanted Zimmerman, insider Zimmerman wanted that ball, and now he's going to be assessed a card. Wow.
Yellow card has been shown to Inter Detroit, number 20, Liam Zimmerman.
If that's how we're giving out cards tonight, we might have a whole lot of bookings.
Hey, how about just playing, dude?
So another free kick here, very similar to the one we saw in the opening of the game. Will be taken by Galati. Sends it away from the post. Far left side headed in. A lot of offensive and defensive players in the area, but Janis is able to get back to it. Now trying to start.
Ian Janis.
And now an excellent move there from Gomez Ruiz. Got to make it count here, and that ball sent into the stratosphere by Matovsky.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Not sure if the Detroit attacker was going to be able to claim that one anyways, but Matovsky making sure that nothing sneaky took place. Here's Bovey out wide. It's number 7, Casey Bunker. Will keep possession in the danger zone. Inter Detroit looking to level this one.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Some players on the Stars sideline warming up, getting ready to take the field potentially for them. In the corner, working around. Cross, too low to the ground, intercepted by the Stars. Wanted the quick counterattack. They've been trying to do that all game, but it gets intercepted once again. Here's Zimmerman shot from way out. And if you're the Stars, you want those kind of shots every time.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
It was just a little over the crossbar, if you will, but that shot from roughly 30, 40 yards out, I would say, is ill-advised. Just 15 minutes into this one. And if you missed it earlier, Evan Combs had a beautiful wonder shot just outside of the 18-yard box to kick us off here for the Midwest Premier League season home opener for Inter Detroit. Goal kick sent to midfield. Ball's battered around. Galati sends it down the field. No, excuse me, that was Mateer. Babacar Sene trying to make something of it. Ball goes out. And it will be a goal kick.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Inter Detroit.
Here's Zimmerman looking for anybody. Finds Bosco Garcia behind him. And they will swing it around. It's Pedro Hernandez. On the far sideline, that double team able to rip the ball away. Now Stars are on the attack once again. Once number 19, Brooklyn Leho. Leho got the ball, but deflects it off of a defender. That was Zimmerman.
Out of bounds, corner kick, Michigan Stars.
So first corner of the day for either side. It is going to be Galati that's the one to take it. Scored a hat trick last time around against the Detroit Badgers. So far today, he's been the man setting up plays for this team rather than taking advantage of them. He sets up another one. Far side, the header not what they wanted. It goes back out. And now the Stars are looking to reset. Galati looks to keep the ball back in, but an excellent kick from number 11, Dennis Pineda. Kept possession alive for the moment, and instead it's going to go back to the Stars.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Galati shouting at his teammates, up here, making sure that they don't lose any space on this possession. And make sure that the throw-in comes in from as close to the goal as possible. Here's Galati. Out wide finds Mateer. Not quite. Intercepted, and now Inter Detroit just sends it back the other way. No one there to receive that pass. Turns into a goal kick for Michigan Stars. And
out of bounds, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Matovsky has not had to work a lot tonight so far. Not a lot of possession from Inter Detroit towards him. Meanwhile, Ian Janis has had to make a few dives. No official saves yet. Here's Bovey. Gets intercepted. This is Sene on the far side of the field. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
The Stars will take possession in the final third for Detroit. Mateer receives that pass, sends it out towards the midfield. This pass is out wide for Leho. Leho trying to make something of it. Cross headed out of the way by Garcia. Here's Matuzek Finds his buddy out wide. Shot way over the net and out of bounds.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Inter Detroit.
So Janice sends it to Zimmerman on a yellow. Sends it back to Garcia. Again, like we've mentioned, not a lot of flow to Inter Detroit's game so far. That pass just a little too much on it, but Zimmerman's going to get ahead of steam and try to take this one into the final third. Inter Detroit will have that opportunity
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
to finally generate some momentum and get themselves back into this game. Only 20 minutes in, still a lot of time left to go. That was Pineda who sent it in. Gets knocked from behind as he heads that one up. This is Zimmerman in the attacking zone, not where he's typically at. Crosses over and hits the net out of bounds, so turns into a goal kick.
Goal kick, Michigan Stars.
With a few opportunities of attack so far tonight for Inter Detroit, and not able to get a shot on goal. Only one shot on goal in this entire game so far, and that was the goal scored by Evan Combs in the 7th minute. Ball being knocked around. That's Garcia heading it once again. Ball still in play. It's Casey Bunker trying to make something of it. And keeps possession inbounds for Detroit.
Inter Detroit ball.
Or throwing, excuse me. Possession will swing around. Here's Garcia trying to find Zimmerman on the left side. Goes off of his leg instead, off the defender's leg. That was Sene. Zimmerman throws it in. Finds Gomez Ruiz inside, one of the many futsal players for this squad that we'll see take the field this season. Had a chance to commentate some of their games for the National Futsal Premier League. A fun team that was. Hoping to see a little more success on the outdoor field though. Bosco Garcia deflects that back emphatically. Ball still loose and getting knocked around. Here's Pineda, finds Gomez Ruiz towards the midfield, fakes a shot and two defenders with him. Here's Pineda, the El Salvadorian, trying to make something of it. Shot blocked, and now Gomez Ruiz will retain possession. This is the momentum you're looking for. Zimmerman gets knocked over and the foul is called. So a free kick about 20 yards out from the goalpost. Maybe 25. And that is that creative momentum that Inter Detroit needs to get back into this game. Gomez Ruiz and Pineda making sure that they have the right spot. There's also some explanation coming forth. It looks like that was Sene that fouled him. The wall forms for the Stars. Gomez Ruiz will be the one to send it in. 4 men that are part of that wall. Might be some running towards the goal. Not quite. They're just going to go for the shot instead, and it's just too high. Goes above the woodwork. Turns into a goal kick for the Stars. Matovsky sends it in. And now here's a potential attack for the Stars. Garcia says, no, sir, get that out of here. And now Gomez Ruiz finds Pineda on the near side, guarded by Richard Humphrey. Looking for a cross, finds one, gets headed out of bounds, and it's the first corner kick of the afternoon for Inter Detroit.
Corner kick, Inter Detroit.
Headed out by Anthony Jokai, I believe. And sending this one in is going to be Dennis Pineda. The major signing. What's he got? Sends it too far wide. Most likely going to go out of bounds, and it will. Turns into a throw in for the Stars.
Out of bounds. Michigan Stars ball.
Not what fifth-year head coach Ryan Rowe wants to see. A lot of miss touches in the box and
Michigan Stars ball.
uninspired set pieces. And now a ball that's just sent way over the heads of everybody, so no one had a chance to get it. Inter Detroit has had their chances. They've just yet to take advantage of them. Like Ryan Rowe mentioned in our keys to the game, we talked about pregame before this. Great conversation I had with him a few days ago about this team and what he expects to see from it this season. A team with a lot of success. This is a East Divisional Championship team, both in 2022 and 23. 24, not as much success though. They were closer to the middle of the table. Here's a potential run. Looking for something here is Casey Bunker on that right wing. Ball sent out of bounds and not able to retain possession. Goes back to the Stars. You got to credit the Stars defense here, being able to swarm the ball. A lot of Inter Detroit has had to go 1-on-2. Looks like we have a substitution ready to check in for the Stars U23 squad. Up 1-0 in the 28th minute here on the We Are Soccer channel. Big thank you to all the folks watching in. Over 60 of you now. Excellent stuff.
Michigan Stars substitution, number 99, Bobby Harris.
Bobby Harris, the midfielder from Wisconsin, will take the field for the first time today. A lot of great talent here in the Midwest Premier League, ranging all the way from D1, from former pro players, all the way down to guys who are still in JUCO looking to make a name for themselves. Excellent defense from Michigan Stars there. Nothing from Hatsios. Now Bosco Garcia will find Bovee. The ball deflects around. Everyone trying to get possession. This is Gomez Ruiz. Wants a shot. He's going to find number 14 inside. Great save! Matovsky.
Save, Matovsky.
That was Peyton Trask with the shot. He's going to have another chance at it and will instead find Pineda out wide. Looking to dance with the defender in front of him. Zimmerman wants a shot. That shot too high.
Adams, goal kick, Michigan Stars.
Was a beautiful shot and frame from number 14, Peyton Trask, the midfielder from Finlay. But an excellent save from Matovsky to keep this thing 1-0 in favor of the Stars. And now the Stars looking to play more of the possession game. Inter Detroit will get the ball back. A lot of momentum from Detroit ever since I mentioned that they needed some momentum. I won't say I had anything to do with it. These men on the field are smarter than I am. Here we go. Peyton Trask finds the ball back in his possession once again. Gets past his defender, needs a cross. He's going to send it out of bounds, and now try to deflect it off of the defender's foot, but instead goes off the shin of Trask, and it will turn into a goal kick instead. Want to remind folks that the next 30 minutes are brought to you by Chief Services LLC, roofing and renovation experts serving all of Southeast Michigan. They're also the stadium banner sponsor of Inter Detroit. For all of your roofing and renovation needs, call 248-787-5887. That's 248-787-5887. But thank you to Chief Services for their support of Inter Detroit. Some commotion midfield. It looks like a foul was called, and it'll be Stars ball. Here's Richard Humphrey on the near side of the field. Finds Galati. He's been excellent on that right wing for them so far this season. Babacar Sene tries to keep it in bounds. Not able to do so, but is able to retain the throw-in to be taken by Galati. In the danger zone once again. If you want to put a stamp, an exclamation point on this period, as we're going to have a substitution come in for the Stars first, before this throw-in takes place. It will be Babacar Sene stepping off the field. Not sure who's coming in, though, at the moment. But if you want to put a stamp and an exclamation point on this game, getting another goal to go up 2-0 before the end of the half would be that thing to do. Stepping onto the field, yet to turn his back to us. We're not sure. We'll call his name out in a second. Until then, here's the throw-in. Straight into the head of Bosco Garcia. And now is kicked out.
It was 9 for the Stars.
Now taking the field, it is going to be Jean Melakuki, the attacker from Northwood. A few Northwood guys on this squad, makes sense. Angelo Grillo, the head coach. Head coach for Michigan Stars, Angelo Grillo, is a former Northwood Husky himself. Played for their team for many years. Head coach Ryan Rowe is a former Schoolcraft Jaguar, former JUCO product. Someone who works at a JUCO school myself and got my associates at a JUCO. I feel that's worth mentioning. Give the JUCO some respect, you know what I mean? Some commotion around midfield. It looks like they're going to call a handball, so it is going to be Detroit possession on the opposite side of the field.
Handball. Inter Detroit ball. Carlos Meda waiting to check in. 8.
We'll have another substitution for Inter Detroit. Now, excuse me, Stars here in a second. That header now sent way out of bounds. Not out of bounds, excuse me, on the other side of the field. Excellent job from Galati to send that to the other side of the planet, but now Inter Detroit gets it right back to where it was before. Great defensive step from Dennis Cali. Keeps it in bounds. Now he's going to keep the possession going forward. Excellent attack here. Oh, almost. Just outside the reach of number 9, Jean Melakuki. On that pass there. So Detroit gets the ball back. Substitutions now coming in, a little more for the Inter Detroit side.
One is Jennings. I can't get the other ones right now.
Luke Kearns is now checked in for the Inter Detroit side.
Inter Detroit substitution. Kyle Jennings and Luke Kearns.
You heard the other name there, Kyle Jennings, the attacker from Adrian. D3 school, just south of here. Here we go, and they're going to call an offsides. I feel like that was a Bit of a late call there from the side judge there. So, regardless, the Stars will get the ball back. This has been a game of momentum shifts. Felt like the Stars had all the momentum in the first 20 minutes of this game. For about 10 or 15 minutes after that, it was all in the hands of Inter-Detroit, not able to capitalize though, so still 1-0. With substitutions coming on the field, it looks like we'll see some new life in this game on either side. Hope to see who is able to take advantage. Stars have done a good job of playing the possession game up to this point. That ball sent out wide to the near side. Here's Rocco Galati, able to settle it. Take sole possession. Grant Mateer gets the ball kicked from behind. Still able to keep possession. Blocked by Pedro Hernandez. Now Galati sends it out wide, but it's just going to go through the back of the end zone. Makes it a goal kick.
Goal kick, Inter-Detroit.
Ian Janis will run back out for that ball. The 37th minute here on the We Are Soccer channel. Waterford Mott High School. Big thank you to them and their hospitality here this afternoon. Always good vibes from the Waterford Mott crew, whether it's Inter-Detroit or any other sport here. Here's Mateer. And they will reset. This is Humphreys. Mateer fakes it, goes through to Galati. Galati looking for somebody to do anything. Not a lot of movement away from the ball. Gets it poked away by Gomez Ruiz, and he'll take possession on the other side. Looking to get past the defender. He will. That was Combs. That's Inter-Detroit having to go through every single defender for the Stars. Now here's Pineda on the left wing. Sends it inside. Gets it headed away by a defender. Now sent back to midfield. Bosco Garcia trying to keep the possession alive. Here's Kearns. Near side finds Pineda in there. Not quite. Ball goes back out. It's Paul Skasilas. Possession resets. Here's Garcia. Pineda not the right touch. Trying to generate momentum by any means necessary. Here's who I believe is Kyle Jennings on the other side. Kearns gets past Mateer. Almost. Not quite. We'll send it to Gomez Ruiz in the midfield. Kearns gets the ball back. Now out to Pineda. Had Jennings in front of him. Instead goes back to Gomez Ruiz. This is Skasilas looking to dribble through everybody. Does almost that. And now falls over. Excellent work there from Tyler Matuzek to kick it off of the chest of Casey Bunker and retain possession for them. Now on the throw-in. Super high throw-in, goes up into the air. There's a foul called on who? On the Stars. Looks like it was on Mateer for trying to jump up and win the ball. I guess you're not allowed to do that. Regardless, it's Detroit's possession. A little less than 40 yards out from goal. It'll be Pineda set to take this one. The last time he tried creating a set piece, it went over the heads of everybody on the field. See if they can be a little more creative with this one. Sends it over. Wanted a header from Pedro Hernandez, not able to get it though. So goes out for a goal kick.
Michigan Stars.
Inter Detroit had that momentum for about 10 or 15 minutes and now struggling to get it back there. Not able to make anything of the fluky foul call from our center ref. Mateer, great footwork to be able to keep the ball in play. But here's Kearns instead. Wants Bovey and is going to get tripped up and fouled by Mateer. He's going to get a yellow for that. Mateer receives a yellow. I believe that's his.
To Michigan Stars, number 7, Grant Mateer.
I believe that's his first yellow of the season. And he was beat. You know, Mateer was just not happy that he got beat on that one play. Tried to retain the ball back from behind, and that's never the way to do it with a slide tackle. So it'll be Gomez Ruiz to send it in. Rush towards the net, header up and over the net. It hit the crossbar, that football crossbar above the net. But of course that is the out of bounds marker, so not able to stay in play. Unbeknownst to me, now in the game is Irvin Castro, the attacker from Lawrence Tech. One of the many Lawrence Tech players for this.
Irvin Castro.
Here's the far side. That's the man we were just talking about, Castro. Sends it in. Casey Bunker not able to keep it underneath his legs. Gomez Ruiz gets it back. Trying to beat the defender there. And there's going to be a foul called after Gomez Ruiz falls over. And if you're on either side of the pitch, I feel like you got to recognize that this ref is calling fouls on just about anything. So I imagine we're going to see a lot more flops take place as this game continues to roll on. Looks like it'll be Gomez Ruiz to send it in on that far side of the field. Looking for momentum. What do we got? Pedro Hernandez tries to keep it alive. Richard Humphreys trying to steal it away. And that goes off the foot of Hernandez, and it's going to go back to the Stars.
Michigan Stars ball.
Got to credit this Stars defense. Been playing stout and phenomenal all game long. Only one shot on goal from them. From Inter Detroit, I should say, but only one shot on goal allowed from that back line. And from a team that started a lot more attackers than defenders.
Michigan Stars ball.
It's pretty impressive to see the defense holding up as well as it has. Galati will be the one to throw it in. Thinking about sending it back to the defense, will not. Instead sends it to the Inter Detroit. This pass intercepted. Inside here. Gonna get a shot on goal. That's a great save. Now Mateer trying to make something of it. And that goes out of bounds.
Save. Ian Janis.
That was John Melakuki that tried to take that shot on. Not tried, he did take the shot on. Great save from Janis. That secondary shot from Mateer was blocked off of a defender's chest or shoulder area, so we'll go out for a corner kick. Taking this one is going to be Bobby Harris, midfielder. Like we talked about, putting a stamp at the end of the half. Not a lot of time left. Both teams struggling to take possession. Here's Humphrey. Typically a defender finds himself on the attacking side. That ball crossed and way over the head, but it's touched by Janis, so it's going to be a corner. It was over the heads of everybody else, but decided to reach his hand up and smack it almost for no reason. I imagine there was a thought process in his head, as we are now in extra time. Not sure how much time we're getting here from our fourth official. I believe his name is Matthew. Great guy. Shook his hand earlier. Nice fellow, I should say. But doesn't have any of those fancy gadgets that tell me how much time we're looking at. Looks like Galati will take this one once again. Sends it in. On frame at the feet of Humphreys. Not able to make anything of it, though. And now here's a shot. Way over the net. And wide as well. Looks like there was a foul by the Stars there. So not a goal kick, but rather just a free kick instead, as that foul was called before that last shot was taking place. And now these teams well aware that there's not a lot of time left on the clock, trying to make anything of it. Chasing that one out of bounds is going to be number 13, Dennis Callie. Not going to need to, though. Inter Detroit gets the ball in the final third. That ball's ripped away back into the possession of the Stars. And now it looks like a little rough play here. It is going to be a foul called on, I believe that was Irvin Castro. And with not a lot of stoppage throughout this first half, I imagine that whistle's going to blow any minute. Looks like our Stars player is taking his good old time to get back up. Stars to send it away. Instead, we'll send it back to the keeper as they look to just retain possession. Oh, maybe not. They want Galati, and this one gets headed and bumped over by Luke Kearns. So now the Stars will have a free kick inside the danger zone. Here's Matier looking to make something of it. Sends a cross over. It gets headed up by Skosilas, excuse me. Now Ryan Bovey trying to keep possession around. Ball goes out of bounds and goes back to the Stars. Looked like there was some sort of foul call before it went out, though. Ref having a conversation with some folks. So the Stars will look to once again make something crazy happen before the end of the half. Rolling into the 4th minute of extra time here. And that is going to be the end of the first half. As many as 60 to 70 live viewers. And we are off. Ball sent down the way, headed by number 7, Casey Bunker, and it goes out of bounds, but possession stays with Inter Detroit. Paul Skosilas wearing the captain's armband. Set to send it in. That throw straight into the hands of Marko Matovsky. Now ball sent to the other side of the field, so it's ball being flipped around in terms of possession. Now we're back at midfield. Looking to change sides. Here's Skosilas.
Hello? Yes, I'm trying to get that working right now.
It's Pedro Hernandez. Sends it out wide. I believe that's Luke Kearns on the far side. in that left backer role. One of the interesting things I heard from Edwin Jimenez in the team's training this past week is if you can play multiple positions, if you're a dynamic as a player as opposed to being just a guy who plays one or two positions per se, you'll have more opportunities to play on this squad. There's about 40 players rostered. You can only dress 18 in a game, obviously, so the more dynamic you are in your playing ability, the more chances you'll have to be able to be on the field. He said if you only play one or two positions, it's not bad. It's just the luck of the draw at that point. So a lot of Inter-Detroit players stretching and warming up to potentially get ready to head into this game in the second half here. So that throw comes in on the Star side. Possession stays with Michigan. Headed out once again by Inter-Detroit. Stars trying to keep this thing in bounds by any means necessary. Able to do so, but we'll go into the possession of Inter-Detroit. Not quite. It's going to be another throw-in for the Stars.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
So now the ball is sent in. This is number 2, Connor Ballantyne. Sends it. This is Sko intercepting it. Skasilas, excuse me. Edwin Gomez-Ruiz, who's played the entirety of this game up to this point, gets it to Bovey. Now to Skasilas. Looking to make some sort of run. Checks a shot directly into the back of Alex Ofimu. Gomez-Ruiz swinging the ball around. It's Hernandez. Gives it back to Gomez-Ruiz. So crafty with his footwork. We've seen on display throughout this game. Grant Mateer tried to intercept that pass, not quite. Now we're on the other side to Luke Kearns. Luke Kearns will get the ball back in an attacking position, needs the cross here. Deflected out of bounds by Richard Humphrey.
Out of bounds, Inter-Detroit ball.
Throw in for the danger zone. Headed out by Richard Humphrey once again, but it stays in bounds. Kearns tries to get possession. Kicked up into the air by Galati, I believe. Now it goes out of bounds in favor of Inter-Detroit.
Inter-Detroit ball.
As they look to see where is the best place to throw this. Everyone gets settled. Possession stays in play for Inter-Detroit. That ball kind of bouncing around a little bit. That's Irvin Castro, excuse me, with the ball in his possession now. Gets the cross in, and the ball will go directly into the hands of Marko Matovsky. Inter-Detroit wanted a call. I believe it was deflected back into Matovsky's hands from a Michigan Stars player, so obviously that's not legal. So it looks like Inter-Detroit wanted some sort of call there, not going to get it.
Out of bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Throw in on a near side on that far side of the field, if you will, for Inter-Detroit, or excuse me, for the Stars, as they go back into attack mode. Sending this one to the other side of the field is number 13, Dennis Cali. Next score here would be a great exclamation point. Oh, great save! Ian Janis!
Save.
And Rocco Galati not able to capitalize on the rebound attempt. Instead, it's Ian Janis' second save of the afternoon. Rocco Galati had 2 chances at it, not able to capitalize on either one. The first one going into the chest of Ian Janis. So great moves by him to be able to retain that ball. Speaking of retaining the ball, it's going to be Galati once again. No, that's Bobby Harris, excuse me. Was able to retrieve the ball back, and now it's going to be a foul We talked about the excess of fouls and cards given in terms of what they were calling on the field, but thankfully we have not seen a flop fest occur, so we had speculated that that may happen as the game continues. Free kick from midfield is taken by Bobby Harris. Now ball flipping around between the Stars players. Galati looks to settle it. He will. Gets double teamed and tripped. Gomez Ruiz, the fouler on that one. Ball sent back into play immediately. This is number 2, Connor Ballantyne. Alfimi will get the ball back. Now to Ballantyne on that left backer position. Michigan Stars seem content to play that possession. And here's a steal, a takeaway. And now tripped up, and a foul is going to be called with a yellow card on number 10, Anthony Jokai.
A yellow card has been shown to the Michigan Stars, number 11, Anthony Jokai.
In the 53rd minute, third yellow of the day for the Stars. And it looked like he had, I don't know if he made direct contact with number 12, Kyle Jennings, who was on that attack there. He tried to make a play on the ball. Jennings was able to get out of the way and jump over the leg, it looked like. But he kind of loses his footing, falls down, and the foul is called. Gomez Ruiz sends it in. Wants a header. Player falls over. They wanted a call off of a, I don't know, you can't just fall over by yourself and expect a call on that. So, another uninspired set piece gives a goal kick to the Michigan Stars, unfortunately for them, I should say. Fortunate for the Stars. This ball sent in on damn near 3/4 of the way down the field. Here we go as number 7, Casey Bunker, bulldozes Connor Ballantyne. And now a yellow card has been shown, I believe, to Bunker. And nothing malicious or intentional about that, I believe, but, you know.
Has been shown to Inter Detroit's Casey Bunker.
No, excuse me, it is going to be Ballantyne that's assessed with the yellow card because the foul is on the Michigan Stars. Matovsky tried to make that save, fell over in the process.
Yellow card was shown to the Michigan Stars, Connor Ballantyne.
Nice, Bobby, nice.
Ball flipping around in all types of different directions here. Trying to make anything of it as the Inter Detroit, as they have a player on the field. And now trying to make a run of it is number 13, Dennis Cali. Able to split the double team. Here's Cali. And now that ball deflected off of the leg of, I thought that was Casales, but
Michigan Stars ball.
it's going to be a throw-in for the Michigan Stars in the danger zone. Possession has been going all over the place. Looked like there was an injured player on the field for Inter Detroit. He is now back up, so thankfully nothing scary there. Here's Mateer. Sends it out wide. That's Richard Humphreys. Great possession game here from Michigan Stars in the final third. Bobby Harris wanted that ball, doesn't take the right touch. Instead, this ball sent out to Ballantyne, who just received that yellow. 4th yellow for the Stars. Kelly trying to make something happen here. Sends it back out to Ballantyne. Good patience from the Stars team. And a lot of excellent touches from the Stars as well. That's an ill-fated pass. It's going to go into the possession of Ryan Bovey, who sends it up the field and deflects a pass off of Richard Humphreys. Able to angle his foot so it goes off of the leg of an Inter-Detroit player, so it gives possession back to the Stars. Ball back into play.
20, Liam Zimmerman back into the game for Inter-Detroit.
Zimmerman is now checked back into the game. He is playing on a yellow, so something to watch out for if he decides to brush into another player, excuse me. Because that's all it takes to get a yellow in games like this, it seems. So here we go. Bovey sends it up. I believe that's Pineda on the far side. An excellent defense there to deflect it off of the leg. I believe that was number 22, Tyler Matuzek, who was able to stop that attack from forming.
Michigan Stars goal kick.
No, excuse me. It's going to be just a missed dribble from Pineda, I believe, and it's a goal kick from the Stars. Another missed opportunity on the attack. And the Michigan Stars have shown that they are very comfortable playing the possession game and being patient with their offense. They did have an ill-fated turnover. Here's Dennis Cowley, great speed to be able to catch up to the ball, but was two defenders in the area, not able to keep the possession alive. Detroit keeps the possession alive for Michigan Stars, though. And Janis will get the ball back. Inter-Detroit will reset. This is Luke Kearns on the near side. Sends that ball out to Kyle Jennings, who was offside by about a yard or two. Again, a lot of potential for attacks here, just not able to make anything of it. Is Inter-Detroit here? I think largely, or just a bit of a disappointing game so far, as we're nearing our way through 2/3 of this game being played. Clearing that ball out is number 80, Ofimu, excuse me. Harris gets it to Galati, who's now playing towards the middle. No handball called. He's able to keep possession underneath his feet. One in Matier, bounces off of his feet. Now here's Gomez Ruiz, looking for attack on the other side. Here's Irvin Castro, far side, needs a teammate. Does he have one? He has Casey Bunker inside. Low cross, not able to get anything there. Those low crosses have not worked for Inter-Detroit one bit. Keeping the possession alive is number 10, Anthony Jokai. Here's Dennis Cowley now. Goes inside. Matier was way offside, so you couldn't make that pass to him. On the far side, here's a cross in there, straight into the hands of Ian Janis. Dribbling through everybody, I believe, was Gomez Ruiz, as he gets tripped up and fouled now. The next 30 minutes of this game are brought to you by the Michigan Super Cup, taking place on July 5th and 6th. $20,000 in prize money, an adult competitive soccer tourney in Brighton, merging semi-pro with Sunday League teams. If you're interested in participating, contact JP at 248-494-6540. That is 248-494-6540. Excuse me, there was an attack. There's an attack generating there, and Matovsky's able to save that shot directly into his arms from Irvin Castro. Apologies for missing that there. Got to make the sponsors happy, though. Thank you to the Michigan Super Cup for their support of Inter Detroit. So now another attack generating for Inter Detroit, able to dribble through the whole left side of the field. Cross inside, another save! Matovsky once again, third save of the evening.
Inter Detroit.
I believe this is the second or third corner kick of the afternoon for Inter Detroit. Looks like it's going to be Gomez Ruiz to send it in. Excuse me, no, it looks like that's Pineda. Set pieces have not worked out well for Inter Detroit up to this point. Let's see if that changes. Pass is sent in. Header deflected off of some stars and now sent out and away to the other side of the field. Kearns will send it back to Ian Janis. We'll give the ball right back to Kearns. And now they will reset. Liam Zimmerman playing on the yellow. Inter Detroit playing more of the possession game this time around, just trying to get comfortable, bring themselves into a rhythm instead of having one person dribble through the whole team like they've had up to this point. That ball knocked, and they're going to find Kyle Jennings towards the inside. And kicking that out of bounds is going to be number 2, Connor Ballantyne.
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
Defender from Oakland. A few Oakland players on this year's squad, as well as last year's. A lot of players that have returned, and Angelo Grillo's second year with this team. Kearns finds Bunker near side. Gonna get past his defender. There's 2 of them there. Wanted Castro inside, not able to reach him, so it goes straight into the hands of the keeper, Matovsky. Ball sent 3/4 of the way down the field once again. Trying to take advantage of this one is Grant Mateer, as the ball's directly in front of him, battling with Bosco Garcia, one of the futsal players for this squad.
Corner kick, Michigan Stars.
Corner kick set to take place here for the Stars. It will be number 99, Bobby Harris, the midfielder from Wisconsin, to send it in. As he waits for the ball from one of the few ball kids out there. Big thank you to them and their efforts this evening. Doesn't go unnoticed. Corner set to take place. Here's Harris. Sends it in. On frame. Over the hands of Ian Janis. He had to push that one out to prevent it from going into the goal. Credit that as his 3rd save of the evening. Corner taken from the same spot. It'll be the same man bringing it in. Take 2. That one too far. And it looked like Janis punched it out, but they're going to say it was over the end line before he punched it out, or even if he touched it. So goal kick now creates an opportunity for Kyle Jennings and co. to do something here on the attack. Defense not having any of it.
Inter Detroit ball.
credit this Michigan Stars defense. They've done a great job of pushing those balls out of bounds and allowing the defense to be set before the Enter Detroit team is ready to take advantage. Ball sent in, goes back to Kearns. Gets past the double team. And this is Pedro Hernandez. Has Bosco Garcia to his left. We'll look to instead split the double team. Find someone inside, that's Bovee. Keeping possession alive is Jennings. Looking for somebody out there, and that kick just a little too much. A little too much zip on it, as I often say. Back on the attack here, trying to create some momentum for themselves. They've had a good amount of momentum since the start of the second half, I should say. Not allowed a lot of chances to come through. That's a good example of one. That's Pedro Hernandez intercepting that pass attempt. Kick far down the way. Irvin Castro trying to make something of it. Jersey tugging on both sides, no call. Stars will take possession here. Again, Enter Detroit, a lot of opportunities, just not being able to take advantage of them, whether it be missed time passes or not the right touch that they want on the ball, whether it be on the cross or the shot itself. Here's Dennis Cali inside the box now, wants a shot. Oh, almost had it, just outside of the box, out of the woodwork, excuse me.
Out of bounds, goal kick, Enter Detroit.
Dennis Cali, good footwork there and almost had the goal. Had it been just a few inches to the left, it would have been probably off the woodwork and into the net. Instead, score remains 1-0. Pineda gets the ball stripped from him. Stars looking to move back. Moving around with this one is 22, Tyler Matuzek.
Out of bounds, ball stays with the Stars.
Matuzek will be the one to throw it in. This is Harris. Crosses it to the other side of the field. Here's Cali. We've seen him in his footwork before. Instead, he'll find Harris inside. Wanted a teammate, not going to find anybody there. It's Casey Bunker instead, with a potential counterattack opportunity for Enter Detroit. Here we go. Irvin Castro trying to make something of it in that near side corner. Defended by Ballantyne. We'll look instead, the low kick from Kearns, not able to make anything of it, but retains possession for Detroit. Swings it around. That shot nowhere close from Liam Zimmerman.
Michigan Stars.
5'10" defender from Saginaw Valley State. A lot of SVSU Cardinals on this team. Unfortunately, that chemistry is not coming to play as this team looks, I don't want to say all out of sorts, because they have generated some impressive runs up to this point, but ultimately just nothing to show for it. So it's another goal kick from the Stars. A push going to go uncalled there, and Galati's going to make sure that Kyle Jennings gets his receipt. It'll cost him a foul there, but it is going to be a yellow on Rocco Galati. So this is the 5th yellow for the Michigan Stars.
Yellow card has been shown to the Michigan Stars, number 6, Rocco Galati.
In the 71st minute. Less than 20 to go in this match. 3 yellows for the Michigan Stars in the second half alone. 2 in the first half, so it is worth mentioning these refs are being evaluated. It feels like there's a lot of games where ref evaluators will come and make sure that their guys are doing the right job, which can offer, I shouldn't say offer, but sometimes puts a little more pressure on the referees to call things that they may not call otherwise. Ruiz sends it in. That goes into the hands of Janis, and there's going to be a foul called. Some sort of goalie interference from Inter Detroit, so. Maybe even offsides. Matovsky sends it out. Not Janis, excuse me. I apologize if that's what I said. Kearns has somebody next to him. He's going to ignore him and try to take it himself. He's got players inside, crosses over. Richard Humphrey. Not the right pass, but makes the right pass. Maybe not. Gomez Ruiz. Gomez Ruiz, known for dancing with the ball. Finds Pineda on the outside. Ruiz wants the cross. Gets potentially tripped up by number 8, J.C. Maeda, excuse me. And a lot of just tugging and pushing and wrapping your body all around the ball. Here's a yellow card on, who is that? For Inter Detroit. That is Edwin Gomez Ruiz, who was given the yellow card.
A yellow card was shown to Inter Detroit's number 6, Edwin Gomez Ruiz.
73rd minute here. Inter Detroit trying to make something of it. Here we go, header. First from Detroit, now from the Stars. The Stars trying to keep it inbounds. They're going to say that went out of bounds. Not so sure about that call, but
Out of bounds, Inter Detroit ball.
puts Detroit in the final third. And it looks like there is a substitution coming on. It is going to be number 11, Yusef Satuna, who we haven't said his name a lot today. He's been on the attack but hasn't seen the ball in his possession that often, so taking his spot is a man whose number is unaware to me right now.
Substitution, number 12, Evan Combs checks back into the game.
It is going to be Evan Combs, the man who scored in the first half. After the Inter Detroit throw-in, looked like it was Casey Bunker who got knocked over, is able to draw the foul. And another yellow's given out. This one to number 80, Alex Ofimu.
A yellow card has been shown to the Michigan Stars, number 80, Alex Ofimu.
I'm running out of room on my page. I don't know if I've ever seen this many yellows for things that are so routine in a game. Some talk that maybe he said some colorful language. But regardless, even if that's the case in that instance, there's been a lot of questionable yellow cards handed out. And as the season rolls on, it's very early, so there's not going to be any suspensions that result of this, assuming nobody gets a red. Potential cross here. Ball's on the ground. Everyone's skating around for it. Matovsky able to get it in his hands.
Save Matovsky.
No official shot there, so it's going to be Grant Mateer trying to get the ball in his possession. An excellent job from Ian Janis to get the ball in his hands. Keeping this game at 1-0. So as I was mentioning earlier, there aren't, as long as there's no reds, there won't be any suspensions that result from all of these yellows being handed out. But if they continue to be handed out throughout the season, it could result in season suspensions later on when games matter more during the end of the regular season run. Great shot from Grant Mateer, but it goes straight into the chest of Ian Janis. That's his fourth save of the evening.
Ian Janis.
Ball floated up. Here's Pineda trying to get possession of it. Bumped from behind, no call. An excellent move there from the Stars defender to keep possession alive for the U23 squad. And now we got some, everybody's falling over like a bunch of bowling pins. I imagine there's some sort of frustration boiling over for both sides. Kearns gets the ball now out of the free kick. This is Bunker. Off the leg of Callie.
Out of bounds. Ball stays with Inter-Detroit.
Who's played as a wingbacker throughout this game. That dynamic speed that he's shown. Certainly going to make an impact in future games if it hasn't already in this one. Wanted his buddy inside, not going to be able to get him is on the Inter-Detroit side. Pineda now going to be called for a foul for a minor shove in the back on his side. Matovsky sent this one to the other side of the field, headed up by Bosco Garcia. Now by Galati. That's going to be Edwin Gomez-Ruiz, who's kind of been quarterbacking this team, at least on the offensive side of things. Push to Dennis Callie goes uncalled. The ball sent around, that's Adam Smolchich, excuse me. Humphreys makes that pass on the far side. Double teamed, able to skip past it. Galati wants to kick up into the air for Grant Mateer. Mateer's not able to get it. This is going to end up being a goal kick for Inter-Detroit as they recognize time is waning with a little less than 12 minutes to go in this game, that if they want to get 3 points, they got to act quick. I'm surprised neither one of these teams have tried to draw more fouls and cards up to this point. Kyle Jennings wanted that ball. It's just a little too far out of the reach for him. Matovsky was in the way. And good sportsmanship from Kyle Jennings to get that ball for Matovsky. You could call it sportsmanship, but I'm sure he just wants the game to continue to progress so Inter-Detroit can have more chances at the net instead of letting time wane on. Kearns heads that one. Ball knocked into the air. Jennings wants Pineda, not able to find him. Here's a defender for the Stars, double teamed. Is able to make that pass though. Galati. Not the pass that he wanted. Looking for number 22.
Out of bounds. Inter-Detroit ball.
Tyler Matuzek, the defender from Oakland. We're back into play already. Both teams struggling to just keep possession alive. This is Pedro Hernandez with the ball now. Sends it to the far side of the field and into the hands of Matovsky. Number 20, Liam Zimmerman wanted a shot on the goal. Typically a defender, but has found his way up to the front of the attack so far. Janis will get the ball back as the Stars have said that they're okay with allowing themselves to play back a little bit and let Inter-Detroit try their best to make some attacking chances happen, as they have not been able to do a whole lot with it. Here's Richard Humphreys trying to keep it in bounds, or at least try to get it out of. Here's a misstep, a potential shot here. Matovsky's on the ground. And no shot after Matovsky's on the ground. Oh my goodness. That's going to go uncalled. There was a slide tackle on, I believe, Tyler Matuzek, who's on the ground at the moment. And I believe for Inter-Detroit, that's twice that Marco Matovsky has found himself on the ground, and Inter-Detroit was not able to even get a shot off. But credit the Michigan Stars defense for swarming those attackers in those moments and being ready to pick up their keeper. Both teams that came into this game with 3 points after beating up on a first-year Detroit Badgers squad. And now here's a foul. Number 8, J.C. Maeda. Not a fan of what Ryan Bovee was doing there. And there's another yellow card given out. Bovee was the one who made initial contact, so I want to say that he's the one who received a yellow in this instance, but I'm not entirely sure.
Number 4, Ryan Bovee.
Checking in for Inter Detroit. His last game's man of the match, Nick Hatsios, who scored 2 goals against the Badgers.
Checking in for Inter Detroit, number 17, Nick Hatsios.
A header from the defender of Inter Detroit goes into the hands of Ian Janis, but it was nearly stolen away by Grant Mateer. Here's Gomez Ruiz, who's had the ball in his feet a lot this game. That ball sent down the way. Potential strike here, blocked by Alex Ofimu.
Out of bounds, ball stays with Inter Detroit.
Spent some time playing with Duca FC in the UPSL. Here's a trip. Nothing called there. Another trip, and now that's called. Could we see another yellow? I feel like anything's possible with this referee. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Am I wrong for thinking the way I am about this refereeing or these cards throughout this game? Over 60 of you watching right now. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So foul called at Inter Detroit. Now it is going to be Matovsky ready to send this one out. Less than 6 minutes to go in this game. And boy, I feel like neither side is probably feeling especially great about their performance in this game. If you're the Michigan Stars, I would say you definitely want to have more than one score on the board for as well as your offense has played and as well as your defense has held up. And if you're Inter Detroit, so many attacking opportunities you just have not been able to take advantage of. If you can't get a single goal in this game,
19, Brooklyn Leo back into the game.
I imagine just not particularly what either side wants in this game. Pretty frustrated on both sides. Leho checks back in. That cross was sent by number 10, Jokai. Now Detroit retains possession again. Not the counterattack they want. They'll get the ball back, though. Here's Bovee playing on a yellow. To Pineda, the El Salvadorian. Trying to rally his team back into this game. Luke Kearns now at midfield. Finds Gomez Ruiz wearing the captain's armband and is playing on a yellow himself. Hatsios wanted that ball. Now is able to get it, potentially trying to get past Ofimu, and sends that ball back into the feet of Matovsky, who sends it out of bounds.
On bounds, Michigan Stars ball.
Sending that ball inside. Here's an attack opportunity, excuse me. Great defense from the Stars once again. Looked like that ball went out of bounds. They're not going to call anything. The whole Inter Detroit team stopped. Here's an attack opportunity bumped by Edwin Gomez Ruiz. And that is going to be a foul on Inter Detroit. The way the whistle blew, it looked like he might have been awarded his second yellow. I shouldn't use the word awarded like that, but could have been the case. Instead, it's going to be number 22, Grant Matuzek. Tyler Matuzek, excuse me, laying on the ground. Less than 5 minutes to go. Less than 4 minutes to go now, actually, at this point. As time wanes on. So defense for Inter-Detroit will have to get set. Number 8, J.C. Maeda was standing all by himself. He gets the ball now. Tries to get the cross in. Defender heads it out. And now Inter-Detroit trying to keep the ball in play. Sends it down the way on the other side of the field, and it's going to roll out of bounds back in favor of the Stars.
Out of bounds. Michigan Stars ball.
If we talk to either one of the head coaches on either side, if this ends up being the final score, I would say both of them would be pretty frustrated by the result. Both of these teams came into this game thinking that they could win a match pretty handily in a 1-0 scoreline. Let's say anything but that. Regardless of whether you're a Stars or Inter-Detroit fan, I can't imagine that you are particularly pleased by what you're seeing. This has been a game of inches, though. Both teams having those opportunities to connect and score on multiple occasions, not able to do so. Sometimes that's how the game of soccer goes. It's just, are you able to take advantage of the things that happen in front of you or not? Both of these teams known for excellence in the Midwest Premier League. So we'll see how this result ends up playing out in the grand scheme of things as the season goes on. Here's Galati on the attack now. Finds J.C. Maeda, the high schooler, former high schooler, excuse me, he just graduated on the outside. Now back in, potentially tripped. Now Edwin Gomez-Ruiz is bumped, no call. Gomez-Ruiz gets back up, finds the ball back in his possession once again. Gets triple teamed and now ball stolen from him. Rocco Galati now finds Maeda once again. Trying to make something happen here. Inside, number 9, Melakuki. We'll find Evan Combs, sends it out wide. Cross comes in. And now Irvin Castro sends that ball up into the air. Hatzio settles it. Now gets back on the attack. Pineda against 2 defenders tries to get that ball. Keep it in play by any means necessary. Bumped and bruised all around, and no call, but Inter-Detroit gets the ball on the throw-in. Just a couple minutes left to go before we head into stoppage time. It's going to be number 14, Peyton Trask, coming in. The midfielder from Findlay had an impressive shot earlier in this game.
Number 14, Peyton Trask.
Throw-in goes back to the defense. Here's Garcia. Gets it out. That's Hernandez. Had Kearns next to him. He finds him. Ron touch there. Too much zip on that ball from Kearns, and it goes out of bounds in favor of the Stars. I wish I could be a little more hyped up or excited about this matchup. This has just been a frustrating match on both sides. I don't think a 1-0 score is what either side envisioned. And of course, if you're the Stars and you end up getting the win in this, 3 points is 3 points, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of talk from the coach, Grillo, on what to improve on. Here's Galati. Almost had Maeda inside. Excuse me, that was Melakuki. But Kearns able to get the ball back and send it to the other side of the field. That's Jackson Hart. No, excuse me. Not sure who that was that sent the ball towards the other side of the field. But it's going to be Matovsky getting the ball in his hands as we are now officially in stoppage time. That ball sent up into the air. For the Stars, it's just in possession mode. You almost want to play prevent defense just to make sure that the Inter-Detroit does not get a goal by any means necessary. Going to try to preserve those 3 points as much as you can. Humphreys heads that into the air. This is what the Stars want. They want to be able to have the ball just kind of kicked back and forth around a lot. Pedro Hernandez looked like he did something to the back of his lower legs on that last kick. He's signaling to be taken off the field. Hopefully everything's okay with him. Bosco Garcia finds Luke Kearns. Has Castro's now playing as a bit of a wingbacker. Had Gomez Ruiz inside, instead finds Pineda, who's got Kyle Jennings on the outside. Wants something inside for Hatsios, not able to take advantage. Goes through his feet. Here's Bovey. Far side. Stoppage time waning on, as we're almost ready to roll into the 3rd minute. Needs something quick here. Gomez Ruiz finds Kearns. Now back out to Jennings. Inside, no one there. Goes out for a goal kick.
Goal kick. Goal kick. Michigan Stars.
Cali tried to settle that ball, not quite, so it's going to go back to Inter-Detroit. And it looked like the referee signaled another 2 to 3 minutes of stoppage time in addition to what we have already. So to kind of give fans at home an idea, roughly around the 95-minute mark, this one will be wrapped up with this one. Gomez Ruiz finds Pineda in the middle. Another attacking opportunity. Luke Kearns on the far side now. Cross. Too far, over the heads, and into the net! Ryan Bovey! At the death! To tie the game at 1 apiece!
Inter-Detroit goal, his first of the season, scored by number 4, Ryan Bovey!
To save points for Inter-Detroit. An excellent cross from Luke Kearns all the way to the other side of the field. And the goal is scored by Ryan Bovey. We still have about 1.5 minutes left of stoppage time, though, so Michigan Stars obviously not going to give up. Anything can happen in just a few minutes. And neither is Inter-Detroit. Here's Pineda. Inside, that was number 14, Peyton Trask. Pedro Hernandez. Looks better now running on his feet. Potential attack opportunity on the other side. Here's number 12, Evan Combs. Inside is Malakuki. And the offsides is called.
Offsides called on the Michigan Stars.
We expected that. I would have been shocked if they did not call that one. Man, oh man. Looks like there's an injury towards that number 30 marker. Not sure who that was who fell on the ground now, getting his legs stretched out. It is early on in the summer, so maybe some folks forgot to drink a water or two more than they probably should. And it is Pedro Hernandez, who we saw kind of limping earlier in this game. Looked like he was doing all right, but maybe that was the adrenaline rush getting to him more than anything else. He'll take a step off the field. Looks like it's Paul Skosilas, excuse me, that will take his spot. No, it's Liam Zimmerman, excuse me. So Hatsios keeps us in bounds. Not a whole lot of time left to go. These folks, you know, as far as the board says, it says 45 flat, so. Throw in. Kyle Jennings, far side. And that ball goes out of bounds. It's now in favor of the Stars. Ball bouncing around, and now was in favor of Michigan Stars, but now this is the end of the game, a 1-1 tie.